A chilly night in downtown Minneapolis, but that will not stop fans from flocking to Target Center for the Timberwolves battle with Sacramento. Let's look at Sacramento's starting lineup. Brought to you by your Northland Ford dealer, a good-looking group indeed. Stojakovic, Miller, who of course came on board in the sign and trade, Vlade Divac, Christie, and Bibby. Rick Adelman in his 6th season in Sacramento. His contract extended in July. The Timberwolves will counter with this group, and Flipsiders has made a change in the starting 5. Trenton Hassel, so new that he's in his Bulls uniform still as we look at him. Will start in place of Mark Madsen along with the Olowokandi, Sprewell, and Sam Cassell.
Going to come out here and he's looking for blood.
And we're underway. Kevin rises high for the tap. I like the example in the paper that Kevin's fine of $5,000 is like $9 for somebody making 50 grand. Still, he certainly wasn't pleased with it. Absolutely KG not. Draws the double team early on, off the glass and in. Kevin is wound tight tonight.
The difference is, though, is that Kevin, when he's wound tight now, Henny, he controls his energy. It's something that he's really done a good job. When you talk to Kevin about it, though, it's a mindfulness thing. It's a meditation. It really, he does consciously try to amp down a little bit because he's been so amped up in games in the past.
Doug Christie looking for options. Brad Miller, the big addition for this Sacramento team, doesn't get the bounce.
I like Brad Miller's game. You know, just talking with some of the Sacramento people, they say, my perception is that he's a tough guy. And he say he's more of a finesse player. Kevin misses a point-blank shot right there. But Brad Miller is going to be a nice complement to Vlade Divac and Chris Webber because he can play both the center and the power forward position. Perception was that he was a tough guy, but just talking with some of the other people, they're saying that he really is not that way.
Doug Christie with a miss. Olowokandi knocks the ball out of Miller's hands, and that sets the wheels in motion. Sprewell, and the fast break is returned to Minnesota.
That's definitely a good sign for Minnesota. A little pressure defense here for Minnesota, trying to create some easy basket opportunities.
Wolves need a lot more of that. Mike Bibby at the other end. And Sacramento yet to hit a shot. They put it up 4 times. Sam Cassell calls his own number and hits.
One of the things that's hurt Minnesota is that Sam hasn't been hot early in ball games. And Minnesota's showing the 3/4 court trap.
Over and back.
Over and back call. A little pressure's been working for Minnesota. Let's shot clock. So if you score by 18 on the shot clock, that's a fast break point, whether it's a layup or a jump shot from the perimeter.
It's great to see the movement. Sprewell outside, won't go. He was so hot in the 4th quarter against Utah, he and Sam Cassell, but unable to bring the Wolves back. Minnesota just looks refreshed here at home. Yet to win on the road, but 2-0 to start the season at Target Center. Hassel run over by Peja, no call. Vlade Divac will clean up underneath. Kings finally on the board. Took him 2.5 minutes. Turnaround, the Candyman. 4 of 5 starters on the board in the early moments here at Target Center. Doug Christie, the defensive specialist, but he can shoot outside as well. All NBA defensive first team honors last year for Doug Christie. Christie with the steal. Will take it himself and stuff it. Quick hands, quick feet. 4th in the NBA in steals last year. Olowokandi turning around and no option, so kick it back. And that's a good option. Garnett working on Brad Miller, toying with Brad Miller.
Kevin showing dribble drive, was going to maybe go baseline on him and made Brad Miller put his hands down. Kevin, 7'1", just shooting over the top of Brad Miller.
Peja Stojakovic, leading scorer for the Kings this year with Chris Webber out. And Peja
can get his shot off against smaller players like Trenton Hassel.
Sticking with him. Kick it to Christie. Underneath Brad Miller. Nice pass from Vlade Divac.
Miller's one of those guys at the end of the day. He's a blue-collar worker that, you know, he's going to have 13, 14 points, 8, 9 rebounds, and he'll have done his job. Nice move by Olowokandi. That right shoulder turn, the jump shot and a low block was the one that Ostertag was sending back into Olowokandi's face. It looks like Michael has more lift in his legs tonight.
Olowokandi has hit his first 2 shots of the night.
Michael against Utah Played more minutes than Flip Saunders wanted to use him for.
Season high 30.
30 minutes, and wanted to keep his minutes to about 20. And that was more than he wanted to play.
Inside to Vlade, who tries to come up with a circus shot, and yes, that's one of the things he does best, flop. No call there. I think officials around the league have kind of gotten used to that. Doesn't work as effectively as it has in the past. Kevin, step back, no, and Divot's in perfect position.
Kenny, already 4 offensive rebounds for the Sacramento Kings. 4 second chance points off those 4 offensive rebounds as well.
Bibby drive and kick. Brad Miller, normally very accurate from that range, misses again. At the other end, Kevin Garnett again.
Good spot up by Kevin. Sam comes down and hits a seam, gets down the middle of the paint, creates a situation where the defense sucks in towards the paint. Kevin's wide open on the baseline.
How about 4 assists in the first 5 minutes for Sam Cassell?
That's a good sign for Minnesota.
Sam had 10 assists the other night. Vlade Divac, that's a gimme. Trenton Hassel starting tonight. First start with the Timberwolves. Released by the Chicago Bulls. Great ball movement, and it results in the long-range bomb from Sam Cassell. 3-point shot for Sam. And there's no place like home. The Wolves on a 7-0 run. Minnesota unbeaten at Target Center, looking to continue that streak here tonight. Email at emailthebooth@foxnet, foxsports.net. Every game we'll take a question from one of our fans. 3-point shot, good.
Something else, man.
Always a great game against the Kings here at Target Center. We told you Minnesota's won 10 of the last 11. But this has turned into a very solid rivalry. Olowokandi, yet to miss. Michael, one-hands it again. Boy, does he look good tonight.
He certainly does. He is got a spring in his step. He's got more lift in his legs than we saw in Utah, that's for sure.
Underneath, Vlade. A nice pass from Mike Bibby. Sacramento team averaging 98 in their opening 3 games. They've not played since Saturday when they lost in Denver.
That's right.
On the road, won their first 2 games of the year at home, beat Cleveland and Philly. Sam Cassell inside again.
Sam takes little Mike Bibby down on the low block. I like point guards that can post up, and that's why it's important for little guys to learn how to post up so you can take guys who don't know how to defend in the low block down there and drop them off.
Garnett knocked it away momentarily, recovered by the Kings. Miller inside, taken away by Candy. Quickly up to Sprewell. Got Hassel on the wing, will take it himself.
There you go. Now this is the tandem. This is the kind of athleticism that Minnesota's expected to see from Cassell and from Sprewell, and Minnesota's getting it early in the first quarter.
Sacramento with 3 early turnovers. Mike Bibby short again. Vlade in perfect position, off the glass and in. Vlade Divac.
He looks strange without the beard, doesn't he, Hanny?
It is odd. It doesn't look the same. And Sacramento not the same team, whether it's in looks or the way they play. Hoping that Brad Miller will make a difference. 4 familiar names dropped from the roster, including Keon Clark we saw the other night. They traded to free up a little space, a little salary space. Solid season high 24 minutes against Utah. Spree has just not found the consistency yet, but you know, when you see him walking around, he sat out practice yesterday because of that sore Achilles, left Achilles tendon, still limping.
You wouldn't think there's any way he could play the way he limps around.
Peja tries to turn the corner but runs into Kevin Garnett.
So he's trying to take advantage of Trenton Hassel, but not working out. Trenton's too strong and he's getting good help. See the fast break points there.
Very positive difference for the Timberwolves.
Right.
Bibby goes baseline, rolls it up and in. Athletic move from Mike Bibby. Timberwolves, a different team here at home tonight.
I'm telling you,
How about Sam Cassell?
Think about the point guards in the NBA that have been able to post up. Guys like Tim Hardaway, Gary Payton continues to do it consistently. You can do it, but Mike Bibby's of the world, they never practice those post defensive moves, so they don't know how to defend very well.
Matson has checked in, and he comes away with a quick steal. Quickly up to Cassell. He'll feed Mad Dog underneath, and he's fouled. Doug Christie says, you can't be telling me the truth. What?
Push that though. Put that one down with one hand. Dunk that one. Little air ball action.
Oh, a little short. Timberwolves DQ meal is available now. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Pepsis, 4 boxes of hot tamales, 4 DQ coupons as well. All that for only $68. Offer available for next Tuesday's game against Seattle. Log on to Timberwolves.com for more information. Mark, try to come a little closer now. But doesn't get either shot.
That hurts. Because you had an easy basket in transition. You not only don't get the three-point play, you don't get the layup, you don't get either one of the free throws either.
Mark is 50% from the line coming into the game so far this season. Brad Miller, baseline, and it doesn't go. Sacramento, 40% from the field to start. The Timberwolves, a hair over 70%. Of course, these two teams, a few years back, forms Bobby Jackson and Anthony Peeler talking things over. Of course, Bobby, after being runner-up for NBA Sixth Man 2 years ago, received the award last season. And AP traded with Joe Smith in Milwaukee for Sam Cassell and Irvin Johnson, cut loose by the Bucks and signed as a free agent by Sacramento. Funny, because Anthony Peeler was a Kansas City Kings fan growing up in KC.
Sam Lacey and Tiny Archibald. Sam Cassell shooting the technical foul that was called on Peja Stojakovic, a 3-second defensive violation.
Sam kind of wears his emotions, you'd say, on his sleeves, but he isn't wearing any. But you know exactly how he's feeling.
Yeah, he just wears it. How he feels is evident, just like Kevin Garnett.
Sprewell finds Cassell, who looks to return the favor. Kicks it back to Hassel. And Trenton unaware of the shot clock.
Yeah, you got to have recognition. A little bit of that is that Sam took a lot of time in a low block, trying to create that situation. But Trenton Hassel's got to know the time on the clock and shoot that shot when he gets it.
Hassel in the Wolves starting lineup tonight, replacing Mark Matson, who had a tough time offensively against the Utah Jazz. Mike Bibby way outside the three. And Bibby begins to heat up.
You see the backcourt situation right now, the smaller backcourt for the Kings. Bobby Jackson and Mike Bibby in the backcourt. This is what Minnesota hopes to do once Troy Hudson gets back.
Kevin in the lane, turnaround, buries it. Kevin Garnett has been automatic tonight.
Yes, he has. 4-6 for Kevin. He's got 8 points in the ballgame.
Darius Sungaila has checked in for the Sacramento Kings, acquired in a trade from Boston for 2 second-round picks. Miller gets his mitts on that pass in. Bobby Jackson checked in as well. What a great guy. Great player, great person. Sungaila not able to convert. Fred McLeod, Keith McLeod, I'm sorry, bring it up. Closing in, final minute. The opening quarter here at Target Center, and boy, the Wolves have looked good. Hassel launches his first shot and drives it home.
He can play. He was a good player in Chicago. Offensive-minded in spurts, and isn't going to kill you offensively, but he's a very solid open jump shooter.
Proved that he can drive. The fact that he got in his car, drove to Minnesota after being cut loose by the Bulls. Timberwolves have dominated play here in the first quarter. A long way to go. McLeod doing it all himself, won't go. Guyla quickly. Bobby Jackson With the news of his mother, Sarah, passing away last January after a lengthy battle with breast cancer. The great story, the wonderful story from that was that Rick Adelman had the entire team on a plane to attend Bobby Jackson's mother's funeral. And obviously it meant a great deal to Bobby, and a very classy thing to do, and obviously the type of move that will pull a team so closely together.
Absolutely.
Last shot time here in the opening quarter. Christie again. Physical steal that time. Sprewell at the other end says not so easy.
Not settling, and you can see how Latrell really wanted to get back into that defensive play and make a play on Christie. Good hustle by Latrell Sprewell. A lot of guys would have just started complaining about being fouled, but Spree, heady basketball.
Under 10 seconds now as the Wolves set up. The final shot. McLeod bumped, gets it off, won't go. Bobby Jackson, a nice job defensively, limiting the options.
And that tells you about the rebounding woes and how it's related to the fast break points. And you can't rebound unless you corral that basketball in the defensive end.
Gerald Wallace is checked in for the Kings.
Another offensive rebound.
Sangila with the rebound is fouled. By the way, only
game this season, exhibition season included. And that's now 6 offensive rebounds for the Sacramento Kings, 0 for Minnesota. Big ticket. Checks back in for Latrell Sprewell. Spree getting his first break of the evening.
Darius Sangila out of Wake Forest, a rookie who played in Russia last year.
Be an interesting experience playing in Russia.
25-year-old rookie, 6'9", 248.
Handy, if you could play in any overseas venue, where would you play?
Italy.
Got that right.
Although with the food and wine, I'd probably be out of the league within a week. Gary Trent, nice job finding Fred Hoiberg, and won't go for Fred. Bobby Jackson's defense almost comes away with a steal, but Keith McLeod showing his quick hands as well. Battle for the board. And Sacramento ball. Bobby Jackson, more of a shoot first type of point guard as opposed to Mike Bibby's pass first. But Bobby last year, a career season, averaging over 50.
Bobby's is an off guard trapped in a point guard's body.
What are you, Pete?
You don't want to know.
A player trapped in an announcer's body? Oh, the other way around.
I have the mind of a player. I have the body of
you've got
an old man.
Not at all. Not at all.
You know, here it speaks really to the depth of the Sacramento Kings and how many players they have that can make up for Mike Bibby being out.
Bobby's performance as a starter caught the eye of many people, and then when he came back as a six-man, well, that ultimately led to him winning that award. Kevin?
Almost gets that. A starter as a six-man. That's one of the reasons why Bobby, won the award last year. Michael Redd, who was runner-up last year in Milwaukee, did a similar thing. Yep. Michael Redd did start quite a few games for Milwaukee last year, but was predominantly a bench player for George Karl.
Bobby Jackson. And before and after every home game. Take a look. Beautiful, beautiful score. Here at Target Center. Bobby Jackson way outside, draws iron, and Gerald Wallace comes away with it. Gerald Wallace, expectations very high for him this season. In fact, one of the reasons that the Kings did not retain Jimmy Jackson and Hedo Turkoglu, they traded, was Gerald Wallace, hoping he'd pick up the slack. Fred Hoiberg, run down by Wallace. And the easy two for Peja. Timberwolves have led by 10 points in this game, but that margin has been sliced to 3. Kevin finds Hassel. Trent just inside the arc. It won't go. And back comes Sacramento. Kings, we mentioned, averaging 98 a game, but giving up nearly as much. And Brad Miller at his best there. Showed you a little toughness underneath. Eastern Conference All-Star last year, Brad Miller. Big things expected of him for the Sacramento Kings. Timeout at Target Center. Wolves with a 1-point lead. Brad Miller at the line, avid outdoorsman. And a 7-year, $68 million deal. Not bad pay. Sign and trade from Indiana.
Buys a lot of shotgun shells.
And he'll earn every penny of that in the Western Conference. A little tougher. KG loses the handle, well aware of the shot clock. Backing his way in. Cassell kicking it. Gary Trent. Pure shot for GT. Bobby Jackson looking to answer quickly. Miller controls the board. Brad Miller left wide open.
As I said in the open, he can face up and hit the outside jump shot. He can also post you up. He's pretty much of a rugged inside offensive rebounder as well. He'll give you some second shot opportunities. I like the way Brad Miller plays. I think he's picture perfect. Look at those offensive rebounds for Sacramento, 9-1.
Kevin, baseline turnaround, good.
If you can hit that initial shot, though, the offensive rebounds don't matter. Minnesota's shooting a good percentage from the floor.
Garnett hits double figures. Bobby Jackson reloads a three-point shot for Bobby Jack. And Sacramento has its first lead of the night. He has turned into one of the premier shooters, along with Peja in the NBA. Same spot for Garnett. This time it rolls out. And Bobby Jackson setting up off to Peja. No. Garnett, second board of the night. Jackson, tough defense. Time for the Candyman to go to work. Olowokandi. That's a patented shot for Michael Olowokandi. Looks like he could hit that all night long.
It's quite effective. Not great extension, though. A player like Shaquille O'Neal might send that one back.
Pretty tough to defend when you've got that 7-foot body to begin with. Timeout on the court.
Week off and sit out or something, and he cut me off before I could even finish the sentence. He said, "No way, I am too tired of sitting on the bench, and as long as I can play, I will play." And Tommy's played pretty well tonight.
Certainly is, and I think that, you know, Michael
for the players, and I think that's one of the things that happened to him last year.
Trenton Hassel's third foul of the night sends Peja to the line. Well, our Menards trivia for this night. The question: what is the Wolves franchise record for points in the first quarter? I'm not going to say we gave you a hint earlier, but we gave you a hint earlier.
You didn't know exactly what the number was either, by the way.
What? I actually did. I didn't know the Sacramento
You
numbers.
swerved into it.
Yeah, pretty much the way I live my life. Sam Cassell living his life large. 11 points, 7 assists. And he has made a difference when he's been on the court. With Sam, the Wolves +7. Without him, -6. Peja won't go. Gary Trent with the rebound, and Gary doing a decent job defending as well. What is going on with Gary Trent? This is a new man.
I'm loving it. He's exactly what the doctor orders. Without Joe Smith, Gary Trent has to keep it rolling. And Sam Cassell talking about keeping it rolling.
Sam is sizzling.
13 points for him. 6 of 7 from the floor.
Bobby Jackson inside, knocked away by the Candyman. Knocked away again. Can he make it 3? Olowokandi, as Pete told you earlier, flip side is hoping to limit to about 20 minutes a night.
It was nice when Minnesota built that 10-point lead. He could afford to sit some guys down. It's the bench players that have to step up for flip saunders when they get a chance to play.
Wolves with 4 blocks to 0 as Gary Trent muscles his way inside.
Gary Trent really the only presence for Minnesota off the bench. A consistent presence, that is. He's played well in every single Timberwolves game.
Peja pushed back by Garnett. And GT high for the rebound. Quickly up to Kevin Garnett. And KG flushes it.
That's a good play by Gary Trent. And the rebound and having the presence of mind to look down court. In traffic, make a tough, long pass to Kevin Garnett for an easy basket in transition.
5 straight field goals for Minnesota. Tony Massenberg muscled out of the way. And Peja runs down the rebound.
Tony Massenberg, famous for the 12 teams he's played for, tying with Chucky Brown, Tom, is being the only 2 players in professional sports that have played for that many teams.
But Massenberg also played for 4 teams in 1 season.
How about that?
Sam Cassell cannot miss tonight.
I played with Tony, for crying out loud. I played with Tony at Golden State 12 years ago.
Boy, this is a shooting gallery going on right now. Back and forth. And yet the Kings still under 40% from the field as Minnesota in the mid-60s.
If Minnesota has to grind it out in the half court all the time, it's going to be hard to beat a team like Sacramento.
Kevin spinning, twisting, up, under, off the glass, rolls out.
And one of the reasons why the Kings are in this ball game after
Shemp's 28th in the NBA. 27th in 3-pointers made. We told you about the rebounding problems, and in points, offense just coming to life. Join Wilson's Leather, the Timberwolves, for Coats for a Cause. Bring your gently used coats to the game Saturday, November 22nd. Receive a 25% voucher off your next $100 purchase at participating Wilson's Leather locations. All donated coats will benefit the Salvation Army of Minneapolis. A great program. Hope you'll take part. Bobby Jackson at the other end. Swung around to Wallace. Bibby moves into the lane. Throws it up and in. Mike Bibby now with 10 points, leading the way for the Kings. And Sam Cassell fouled on his way to the hoop. Sam tonight, 7 of 8 from the field, 15 points, and 7 assists. And this on the heel of a 27-point, 10-assist performance against the Utah Jazz. I think Sam is feeling comfortable.
I'd say.
Spree inside, undercut as he threw it up and near
with Gerald Wallace.
Caught red-handed, I think. Spree hits the first. Well, our Menards trivia question. The Wolves franchise record for points in the first quarter, and the answer is 41.
Hey.
Against Sacramento, February 7th, 2002, and the Wolves just rolling over the Kings. I think they had 10 or 13 points to counter that opening quarter.
It wasn't much. Troy Hudson was amazing. Or was that Chauncey Billups? I forget now.
There have been quite a few point guards in the last few years.
Brandon?
It was Terrell Brandon. That is correct. Michael Olowokandi. Great effort to come away with a rebound. And Sam Cassell, the miss, tapped by Spreewell. And you see some of the newfound athleticism on that play. Bibby, what a pass outside to Bobby Jackson. Candyman gets a hold of it. Bobby brings it in. Jackson dancing on the baseline. Finally, the rebound by KG, number 3 in the night. He's got 14 points.
Hey, I know what Wolves point guard wasn't part of that 41-point explosion. Shane Heal. How about him hooking up with the San Antonio Spurs?
Oh, it's great. Spreewell outside, 2-point shot.
Oh, is that fun to see?
Shane dyeing his hair blonde. Looks a little different. A look you might try before we're done this year?
You mean while I still have hair, you mean? I wish I'd have played around with my hair more when I had more of it.
Under 2 minutes to go.
I could do an Andre Kirilenko. I could,
Nice pass inside to Fred Hoiberg. Kevin Garnett with the big assist. And this is the most points for the Wolves in a half this season. Mike Greenbaum with the stats board in there. Mike Greenbaum, been writing that on the blackboard like 50 times during the break. And Jim Peterson, Tom Hanneman back at target center, where the Wolves have reopened the lead to 10 points, and that's the man that has helped them do so.
It certainly is, and done in a variety of ways. Minnesota's plus 16 with Sam Cassell on the floor, minus 6 with him sitting over on the bench with Flip Saunders. And he has just been a juggernaut. He's really got Minnesota off to a fast start. He and Spree, along with Kevin Garnett and Michael Olowokandi, got Minnesota out to a fast start, and they haven't looked back. So, see 15 points on 7 of 9, 8 assists as well. So, not only is Sam creating for himself, but he's getting other people involved as well.
The criticism of Sam coming in, and you heard it from a lot of people, is holds the ball too much. Well, he has adapted here at Minnesota. Certainly we see that tonight, and the result has been terrific. Christie taken away by Hoiberg. The Mayor on the run. Fred loses it and goes down hard. No doubt everyone has heard the Fred Hoiberg story, but if you haven't, as we look at the replay, as a sophomore at Iowa State, got 3 write-in votes in the '93 Ames mayoral election, and Dickie V passed for mayor. Coming up at the half tonight, Marty Gellner with a great story, the marketing of Kevin Garnett, news and notes, first half highlights and stats, and there will be some good ones in terms of highlights. I think this is the best we have seen the Wolves look all year long.
Absolutely. Except for the offensive rebounding by the Kings. Probably the only disappointment for Flip Saunders here in the first half.
Vlade doesn't have the quick first step, but still has some moves.
Third best center in the league.
What year?
Every year.
Take issue with that. He's the old school center who does a terrific job, there's no question. Garnett won't go. Peja with the board, under a minute. Third best in the league. Garnett with the steal. Sprewell will take it himself. Won't get the bounce. Oh my. Miller swings it to Peja. He's fouled by Fred Hoiberg.
Shaq's first.
I agree.
And whether or not you consider Zoe the second best or not.
Well, at
one time, I think.
Not now.
And we'll see. We'll see. I think that Zoe still has a lot in the tank right now, and he's not done yet. So we'll say Vlade's 2A and Zoe's 2B. Over a basketball game, and that's what Vlade gives you, that he's just so court savvy.
Closing seconds, first half. Sam Cassell, shot clock at 5. Flip Saunders says let's go. Sam does. Will he get a shot off? Couldn't get it to Kevin Garnett in time, and KG with no options. Halftime here at Target Center. The Wolves take a 7-point lead into the locker room. For Minnesota, Sam Cassell 15 points, but 8 assists on top of that. KG, Spree, and Michael Olowokandi. And for the Kings tonight, their top scorers, well, Mike Bibby, the only one in double figures. Peja, Vlade, and Bobby Jackson. Let's head over to Marty Gellner.
Tom, I just spoke with Sidney Lowe, one of the assistant coaches. He told me in the locker room the Wolves talked about defensively taking away layups for the Kings, and also beware, Peja Stojakovic will probably come out shooting, so let's know where he is in this quarter. Offensively, he said not so many quick shots. Let's get set up in our offense and run our plays. Tom?
All right, Marty, and Mike Bibby comes out shooting, but Peja will as well. This is a team that will get themselves back into a game by doing exactly that. Sam Cassell. Sizzling tonight.
Using Brad Miller's head as a gun sight that time. Shooting right over the top, just getting that eye, and
That's a big sight.
it certainly is.
Peja
Oh my.
hits the three.
Another great Serbian player, Peja Stojakovic. Vlade Divac, of course, from Serbia.
Garnett draws iron. Spreewell with the rebound. Finds Sam Cassell on the wing, and Sam buries it. Good ball movement has made a difference for the Wolves so far tonight. Vlade working on Olakandi. And Candyman will pick up the foul.
Got all the bag of tricks.
All right, we've got a car soup question tonight.
Okay.
And here it is from Jason Barber talking about the Timberwolves and Glenn Taylor and what effect has his moves made on the Wolves this year. And obviously they've had a tremendous effect. His desire.
He and the whole ownership, the minority owners, should be included in that mix as well. They've all done a great job. Management, signing all the players, making the deals happen, but it's opening the purse strings and having the commitment to win basketball games.
Kevin twisting, turning, tapped up and in by Trenton Hassel.
That's great basketball by Trenton Hassel. The stick-to-itiveness and the willingness to get in there and offensive rebound the basketball and the skill level to make that tough tip.
Bibby won't go, and Garnett rises high for the board. Just 4 so far tonight. Sacramento +7 in rebounds. The Wolves turn it over. This is a team that can score quickly. And Mike Bibby, a great example of that.
Mike Bibby just picking the right time to jet past Sam Cassell. The crossover move going to the left hand, hitting the seam, and Olakandi was not quick enough to get there to stop Mike Bibby.
Mavericks fall by 10 tonight to the Wizards. Sam Cassell again.
Love it. I love Sam Cassell. He's been one of my favorite players for a long time. I loved him when he was at Florida State, and he just proved what a great player he was with the Rockets, winning 2 championships.
As a rookie, coming in and doing the job that he did.
He doesn't need much room to get his shot off.
Sam 3 for 3 here in the third quarter. He has 6 of the Wolves' 8 points so far in the third. Nice pass. Miller over to Divac, and the big man showing the other big man that he can share the ball as well.
That's what I was talking about with Brad Miller, his ability to fit in here in Sacramento. He's been an Eastern Conference player his whole career. Played in Charlotte, played with Indiana Pacers, and posted a stop in Chicago. Nice left shoulder turn for Kevin Garnett. Little stop in Chicago before going to Indiana, but he is a nice fit for the Sacramento Kings team.
16 for KG. Vlade, the bounce pass to Peja. And although I might not agree that he's one of the top 3 centers, he is certainly one of the top 3 passing centers in the NBA. I'll take Michael Olakandi tonight.
Oh, man. That is a total cop-out, Tom Hanneman. I'm very disappointed in you.
Hey, before we're done here, you're going to see a lot more from the Candyman this season than you will
I got no
from
question
Vlade
about that. But we're talking about track record here. We're talking about time tested.
I'm looking ahead, baby. I'm just looking ahead.
Candyman, you know, he'll have his payment to you at the end of the game.
Tapped up and in.
Oh my.
And stolen away by Christie. Olakandi telegraphs the pass. Candy tries to block the shot, and Sacramento scoring in bunches. Flip Saunders up off the bench, not happy with what he has seen.
Can't be nonchalant with inbounds passes with Doug Christie on the floor.
Sam, what touch.
Man. This is fun to watch.
Back and forth. And the Wolves still manage to stay on top.
So Sam Cassell can put the brakes on or try to avoid it. Neither happened that time. He ran smack dab into Brad Miller.
Sacramento has scored on 8 of 9 possessions in the corner. And they lose it there. Cassell, he's done it all night. Won't go this time. And Olowokandi over the back of Lottie Divac. And for Candyman, that's his 4th personal. The feeling with the Sacramento team, they are never out of a game.
Absolutely not.
Although they did fall by 21 on the road to Denver. Carmelo Anthony had 23 points in that game, their first road game. Peja just inside the arc, no. Vladi. Off to Bibby. And the foul. Flip Saunders not at all happy with that call. Cassell picks up his 3rd of the night. Sam 11 of 14 from the field, 23 points and 8 assists.
Watch the back pick situation here. You can see Sam Cassell right here. He's going to get a back pick by Brad Miller and just gets crushed right there. Kevin Garnett stepped up to help out, but you got to be able to call that play out. That's why communication on defense is so important, to signal to your teammates what's going on out there.
Nice job, Pete. Wolves have struggled in the paint, and they've struggled this year in terms of second chance points. Sprewell finds the range. Sacramento has outscored the Wolves 17-4 tonight in second chance situations.
It's good to see the Wolves get some easy baskets too. Spree and Sam are scoring easy.
Peja keeps firing away. Matson this time with the board. Here comes Sam Cassell. Hoiberg, cross court to Matson, left alone, short. Last touch by Minnesota. Sacramento's shooting percentage continues to climb, slowly but surely. There are those who believe that the window of opportunity may have closed on the Sacramento Kings. I am not among them. But there's no question that to win an NBA title, they're going to need Chris Webber, not playing tonight, out until December. Timeout on the court. Wolves by 5. Midway third quarter, Sam's bounce pass taken away by Brad Miller. Garnett closely watching him on defense. And Miller tripping over Garnett's foot. Many things well, including shooting from the free throw line. Last year, 81% from the line. That was tops among NBA centers.
His senior year in high school in Indiana, he was on track to be Mr. Basketball of Indiana, but on a recruiting visit to Oklahoma State where he admitted when he came back that he had a few beers on his recruiting trip. That's a shock, isn't it, Tom? He got suspended for 10 games. His mom sent him to a prep school out in the East Coast, and he ends up going to Purdue. He wanted to go to Indiana, but Gene Cady taught him well.
Sprewell, catch and shoot, and he does it perfectly.
That going to Purdue for Brad Miller, I think, really made him a complete basketball player. Gene Cady is a great basketball coach and does a nice job making his basketball players complete players.
That assist by Sam Cassell gives him a double-double, 23 points and 10 assists. And Mark Matson, the hard-nosed addition from the Lakers, showing that he is multi-talented defensively. He'll take the bump, he'll take the shot, as he does here.
Sometimes the important thing on that play is to actually give ground and sell it. You got to sell it like an actor sometimes. And you know, Mark Madsen obviously is strong enough to take that hit and stay on his feet, but falling down sells the charge and makes the referee make a call.
Only Kevin Garnett could have pulled that pass in. The long arms underneath. KG lifts and puts it down.
A long arm of the law, number 21.
Suspended in midair, Kevin Garnett finds a way. Bibby, quick first step to Miller, denied by Garnett. Kevin does not want to be listed. as any taller than 6'10", even though he's been 7'1" for years.
Well, I'm 6'10", and he's at least 3 inches taller than me, Hanny. I've been sizing people up for years. I don't need to size you up now.
I'm afraid you're right.
Yeah, pretty much. You take guys like you in a low block and drop you off. But
5 for 5 from the line is Brad Miller. I'm not arguing. Kevin. Bibby quickly up court. Bibby turns it up. Kicks it in the corner. Peja, the three-point shot.
Well, I have to disagree with Chris Webber about Peja Stojakovic. He says that Peja's the best shooter in the NBA, and I don't necessarily agree. I think he's one of them, but there are other guys that can shoot a little bit better.
I hope Vlade isn't one of them.
Vlade's not one of them.
Kevin Garnett, the fadeaway, absolutely pure.
Well, by percentage, Michael Redd shoots the three a little bit better. See Michael Redd last night against the Lakers. The Bucks should have won that game against the Lakers last night, Hanny. Peja's getting heated up now.
Predrag Stojakovic. That's why they call him Peja.
I'll tell you another thing, watching the Bucks last night, first of all, Joe Smith is helping them big time. Second of all, TJ Ford's going to be a player.
We did not have the opportunity to watch that rookie from Texas on opening night.
Some dispute here as to who the ball went off of out of bounds, and after conferring with Rick Adelman and all the Sacramento King players, Ted Bernhardt changed his call. Now that's a shock, Kenny, isn't it, after talking with the Kings players?
Well, Dick Bavetta, I'll tell you, gets it right.
Yes, he does.
I will say that. Doug
So does
Christie.
Ted Bernhardt. These are good officials right here. Derek Richardson, these guys are...
Absolutely right. And you appreciate taking the time to find out what the other guys saw. We get it wrong all the time here.
Well, you get it wrong more than I. You sold me out on the Divac thing. I'm going to...
There he is, one of the 3 best centers in the NBA.
Now you're coming around,
and he knocks it down.
Woo!
Oh, I'm being beaten to a pulp tonight
Yes,
here.
you are.
Mark Madsen off the
Mad
glass.
Dog. Go at him, Mad Dog. Kiss it off the glass with the right-hand jump hook. That's nice to see Mad Dog having the confidence to do that.
He's been called Mad Dog since the 5th grade. Kevin Garnett has renamed him Red Dogs.
Red Bull.
Red Dog. Peja again.
Peja's on fire. They didn't tether Mad Dog to the Jungle Gym, did they? Like the famous Mike Myers character with
12-4 run for the Kings.
the helmet and the chocolate bars. And
you give Stojakovic any room and he pays you back. Brad Miller going down and KG right on top. 2 big men showing all sorts of hustle going after the loose ball. Explained because Sacramento never retained possession of the ball. The shot clock
stays at 8.
Stays at 8.
Yep. Now it gets reset. Kevin never gets beat on jump balls, and Fred Hoiberg just got beat on a back door that time. Nice back screen by Brad Miller.
And the Kings have their biggest lead of the night, just 3 points. Minnesota's led by 12. Sam Cassell gets it off with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Garnett complaining that Brad Miller was the last to touch the ball, to no avail. And Hoiberg with a shove on Christie. Doug Christie, we told you, best known for his defensive prowess, but there's Pete Carrill.
Yeah, Princeton coach, has been in the NBA now for a few years. He's really impacted Terry Porter and Byron Scott. Watch the back pick here. Watch Brad Miller step up and get Fred Hoiberg right there. The back pick, the back cut by Christie, and the easy basket by Stojakovic, by Doug Christie. That's a great pass by Vlade Divac. And that's Pete Carrillo basketball. That's how those Princeton teams, Hanning, were able to beat the Georgetowns and the other great teams in the Big East. Pete Carrillo is a basketball genius, and he is putting his imprint on the NBA. As I said before,
the motion offense.
Yeah, no question. Great man right there.
Christie, we're saying, is a great defensive player, but boy, he signed a $40 million contract because he can shoot the ball as well. Really come into his own. Gary Trent stops a 7-0 run by the Kings. Closing seconds, third quarter. Sacramento has come to life. Bibby swings it around, takes it inside himself, lays it up, won't go. He is fearless inside. And Sam Cassell, his flip side, who's barking at him, will set up for the final shot. Flip says, let's go. Sprewell throws it up and in. Latrell Sprewell beats the clock. Doug Christie almost got away with a big hoop as time expires. Allowed the ball to bounce, didn't touch it, so the clock would not start, and then moving in for the layoff, but it was too late. Sacramento comes battling back in the third quarter, and they take a 1-point lead into the fourth. Down Minneapolis, Tom Hanneman along with Jim Peterson and Marnie Gellner, and before the third quarter ended, the Kings came very close to a basket. Doug Christie, as you watch the lights in the backcourt, ball still in his hand as the shot or the clock expired, Pete.
And the switch they made last year by putting those red lights around the backboard and putting in the replay where the referees can go back and look at all the shots at the end of the basket, at the end of the quarter, really has helped out immensely.
Brad Miller with a rejection on Sprewell. Back come the Kings. Miller averaging 2 blocks a game so far this season, and Peja Stojakovic knocks down the outside shot. That was the Kings' first block of the night. Minnesota has 5 so far.
Peja's got 23 now. He only had 8 at the half. He's got it going.
Nothing new for him. Gary Trent backing his way in. Hassel with the rebound. Fresh 24. Sam Cassell spinning, steps back, and pops it.
You know, and Sam's doing this against Bobby Jackson and Mike Bibby, 2 pretty good defensive point guards. He's making it look easy.
With an effort like this against one of the top defensive point guards in the NBA. Miller hands it off to Bobby Jackson. He steps back, throws it up, no. And Gary Trent, just too strong, comes away with a board. Wolves looking to retake the lead. Trent facing up, runs into Brad Miller, and Sacramento takes possession.
Again, taking the charge is a lot of times being part thespian because you got to sell it to the referee. Brad Miller is a big hulk of a guy. Now, a little bump like that's going to send him crashing to the floor. But you make the referee make a call one way or the other. You're rolling the dice if you're the defensive player by falling to the ground like that, because if they don't call anything, Gary Trent has an easy basket. But if they do, it's a possession for your team.
Bobby Jackson inside. The nice feed from Darius Sungaila.
Again, these cutting defenses, much like the Utah Jazz play, like the New Jersey Nets play. Terry Porter's instilled that sort of philosophy in Milwaukee. They're difficult to guard because they're back cutting all the time.
Sam outside to Hoiberg, and the Mayor hits the 3. Fred Hoiberg, a huge shot. We're tied at 91. Wolves 3 of 4 from the 3-point strike tonight. Bobby Jackson Steps back and buries it. Take that, he says.
Well, I said the Wolves needed to score at least 90 points to be in the game against Sacramento, and boy, did they need to be. 9 minutes to go in this ball game, and we've got a 94-91 game.
Gary Trent facing up. Throws it in over Brad Miller. And Gary with some emotion as well. Mike Bibby fouled on his way to the hoop by Sam Cassell. Timeout on the court, 8:57 left. And the Kings with a 1-point lead. With that same killer instinct.
Let's hope. Vikings need to finish up strong here the second half of the season.
Bibby thinks about the three. Garnett dissuades him otherwise. Peja will take it though and hit it. Peja Stojakovic is taking this game over. And Sacramento here in the second half now 16 of 23 shots from the field. All this is Gary Trent with a miss as the Wolves continue to shoot in the mid-60s. Bobby Jackson pinned in behind the back. Miller up the lane, and what a great job from both Bobby Jackson and Darius Sungaila. Great motion, great movement. And the Kings with their biggest lead of the night. Hoiberg looking for options. Garnett. Kevin, the double team. Steps back, won't go. Rebounded. Gary Trent, no. Off Gary into Kevin's hands. And Kevin will pick up the technical foul. Things are really gotten physical underneath, and Kevin beside himself trying to figure out, what did I do this time?
The fourth period, and if you're wondering how the Wolves are shooting 60% from the floor and still find themselves behind in the ballgame, with Sacramento shooting not very well themselves. Free throws, Tom. I mean, 19 of 23 for the Sacramento Kings. Right. Only 6 of 9. 9 free throw attempts for the Wolves. And so I should say it's 20 of 24 now with that free throw by Peja Stojakovic. Offensive rebounds for the Kings, 15 to 4.
Hoiberg inside, knocked away by Miller as Matson tries to go strong.
Yeah. Miller's played very tough tonight. He has been a tough guy. I mean, he's blocked shots, he's played great defense, and crushes Keith McLeod on that pick right there.
Bibby inside, doesn't get the roll. McLeod quickly up court. Hoiberg baseline inside, the one-handed jam. Fred Hoiberg showing some life there. Sacramento has hit the 100-point mark, and the Wolves not far behind. Nice find. Brad Miller again, and what an addition, this young man, and he is young at just 27 years of age. What an addition he has been. Boy, we've seen that tonight. Averaging 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, and he has made his presence known. Minnesota shot the lights out, but the Kings coming on strong here in the second half. Timberwolves have led by 12, and Sacramento with a 7-point lead right now, their biggest of the evening. Curious what Flipsiders may have said.
Talk and alert the guys that's getting picked, that the pick is coming. The team defense has not been good here.
Inside to Garnett, little high, stolen away by the Kings. Bobby Jackson all alone. Will step back and set it up. Let's go over to Marnie Gellner.
Well, Tom, you just asked what did Flip Saunders tell his team in the huddle that time? This past time out and the one before, he talked defense, defense, defense. And just this last time out, he said, take a look at the clock. There's still plenty of time left, and we're going to score some points, but it's our defense that is killing us right now.
Thank you, Marnie. Turnover by the Kings, and Brad Miller picks up the tee. Not happy with it. His new teammates trying to calm him down. And Sam Cassell shoot the tee and hit it. 26 now for Sam tonight.
I don't care what those guys in Sacramento are talking about. I think Brad Miller's a tough guy. He's played well against Minnesota when he was with Indiana. We've seen him play well with Charlotte as well.
First free throw of the second half. Won't drop for Sam. Gary Trent is there with a rebound and one. How do you like the new look, Gary Trent?
Where would Minnesota be without Gary Trent's points off the bench? He has been huge for Minnesota. Good foul on Mike Bibby. Gary Trent, the big-time rebound inside.
Miller has 5 fouls.
Excuse me, that was Brad Miller that had that foul.
As Gary Trent drops in his 11th point of the night. Double figures in 4 of the first 5 games for Gary Trent. And his minutes haven't necessarily been extended. 100 for NBA Tix to purchase tickets. Bobby Jackson behind the back. Inside, moves in off the glass, won't go. Bobby with the rebound. Jackson won't be denied. Misses the shot. What an effort by Bobby Jackson. Quickly back come the Wolves. Cross-court bounce pass to Sprewell. Inside to Garnett. Great movement by Minnesota's offense. And Rick Adelman will take the timeout. The Wolves offense coming to life tonight here at home. Going with this group. Gary, Kevin, Michael, Latrell, and Sam. While the Kings will counter with Peja, Brad Miller, Vlade, Bobby Jackson, and Mike Bibby. Timberwolves on a 6-0 run. And pulled back to within a point.
Wolves have done a better job rebounding here in the second half. Two-handed. They got out-rebounded 26-16 in the first half. They've reversed the roles. They've gone up 12-6 here in the second half to even things out 32-28
You get
total.
the feeling we're going to go down to the wire tonight, Pete?
Oh, yeah. Kings, Wolves, always fun basketball. What a brick by Mike Bibby.
And Gary Trent, right place, right time. Now 8 rebounds along with 11 points.
Post up Bibby. Spree's got a big advantage size-wise down low.
Spree, the turnaround. Guides the ball into the basket. He wanted to make certain with that shot.
There's no way Mike Bibby can guard Latrell Sprewell. That's great offense by Flip Saunders to isolate Mike Bibby with the more talented, taller Latrell Sprewell.
Miller turns it around and puts it down.
Miller takes it right back at Sam Cassell. Sam somehow found himself guarding Brad Miller, and Miller's had a great game tonight.
Kevin Garnett, 22 tonight. Sprewell with 19. Latrell looking for back-to-back hoops. Comes up short, and Bobby Jackson at the other end breaks away all alone for the easy layup.
Well, if you're going to post Latrell Sprewell, who's the off guard right now, you've got to rotate someone else back. You can't have 3 guys, the big guys, crashing the boards if Sam Cassell's going to be in the corner. Someone's got to get back on defense.
Olowokandi. The double team up to Sprewell. Shot clock about to expire, and Sprewell with a big 3-point shot. He had no time to think about it. We're tied at 106. Peja off balance, falling away, and still almost hits it, Pete.
Unbelievable. Hit the side of the backboard and almost went in, too.
What a night. Wolves and Sacramento Kings for the first time this season. Garnett in the lane. Won't go. Miller with his 8th rebound. Bobby Jackson so quick off the glass. And Bobby even saying, wow.
Got to get back on defense. Spree sprinted back to help Sam Cassell, but Bobby Jackson's too strong. Once he gets to the basket, you cannot stop Bobby Jackson. He's a great finisher at the rim.
17 points off the bench. Spreewell again, hard off the heel. Here comes Bobby Jackson. Divac. Right back to Bobby Jackson. The curl, top of the key, rattles out. Olowokandi with help from Kevin Garnett.
Bobby Jackson was constant motion that time. You said it, Tom. He kept curling around until he found himself a shot.
Flip Saunders will take the timeout.
Spree's been
here's
great.
A look at it.
He's been great. I mean, shot clock's winding down. Spree found himself, and you said it, Tom. He had no time to think about it. Just catch and release. You see the explosion by Bobby Jackson to the rim. Spree got there, but too late. Bobby Jackson just split that double team and got to the rim.
Bobby Jackson, 9 points, Pete, in the fourth quarter.
And you see how Bobby Jackson, just constant motion, and the handoff by Vlade didn't make the shot, but he's just constant motion. He had already curled around once, and he came back around again, and that's just Sacramento Kings basketball. Constant motion, making you defend, making extra passes. And Bobby's showing you why he was Sixth Man of the Year. Stepping up those kind of numbers will get you some big-time publicity. Doesn't hurt that in playoff time you play pretty good, too, on the big stage, Tom. He's been a big-time player for this team.
Folks in the Kings organization say that's the toughest guy on the team, Bobby Jackson. What a night it has been for Sam Cassell. But everything on the line here, a 2-point game with 2:10 to go. Spreewell will inbound. Sam Cassell puts it up himself, long. Trenton Hassel in perfect position. Cassell, shot clock, now at 3. Sam unaware, or is he? Got it up in time. Hassel tries to come away with it. Mark Matson does. Kevin Garnett gets it to Sam. Won't go. Hassel high for the rebound. And Mark Matson saves it again. Spreewell won't go. And a foul underneath.
KG has not been getting many touches. It'd be nice to see if KG could get something in the low block and play inside-out basketball a little bit more.
Every possession crucial right now. Miller got a hand on it. And last touched by Minnesota.
Panic right now, but you've got to play good, solid defense and not giving up any open shots.
Bibby catches it off the rim. Matson will take it up himself. Spreewell brings it cross court. Big possession for the Wolves. Garnett, double team, falling back, won't go, tapped up and in by Mad Dog. Mark Matson with a huge basket.
And Trent Hassel and Mark Matson putting their own stamp on this game. Kevin, the go-to shot maker, but Spree and Sam Cassell have done their thing, but that's big plays by two role players from Minnesota.
Matson working on Divac, knocked it away. Sacramento ball. Let's look at it again, Jim.
How many times?
Tied at 108. And who else but Bobby Jackson into Divac. Double comes over KG to help. Kevin rejects him not once but twice. Garnett with great defense. And the Wolves look to take the lead.
Vlade Divac incensed. How is he not getting a technical foul right now?
Good point, Jim. Divac frustrated after being manhandled under his own basket seconds earlier. And a 20-second timeout called by the Wolves. 32.8 to go. And
Rebounding.
as predicted, this one's going down to the wire.
That's right. Rebounding all even, Tom, too. That's brought Minnesota back into this game.
Kevin moving inside, in a crowd, throws it up, almost goes.
Quickly.
KG connects on the first. Rick Adelman.
21.7 to go. If you're Sacramento, you can't wait. You want multiple opportunities to get the game tied if Kevin makes 2.
And he does.
And they're going to take
Adelman the quick timeout.
Watch the back picks. I would run through Vlade Divac. He's been so good making decisions, trying to get free throw opportunities for himself, but more than anything else, he's great at finding cutters.
All right, here we go. Sacramento looking to battle back. Vlade quickly to Mike Bibby inside. And he gets loose as the Wolves will call the timeout. Sam Cassell frustrated, throwing the ball down.
Just like that. That's exactly what I expected. Go through Vlade, cut off with Mike Bibby, look for cutters. If you're guarding Brad Miller, get off. You've got to be able to see that.
Bibby with an even 20 points, with the biggest hoop of the night for the Kings here. Fred Hoiberg, the long-range shooter, has re-entered the game. Garnett, Cassell, Matson, Sprewell, and Hoiberg for the Timberwolves.
Look for Sam to create something on his own.
And here we go. Cassell, back to Garnett. Kevin swings it to Sprewell. Latrell for the win! And it's waved off. He did not get the shot off in time. It did not drop.
He's big enough to be able to play Miller or Divac, and that's the main thing. Kevin Garnett's playing Brad Miller. Gary Trent's just a little bit too small to play against a taller Vlade Divac. That's why Matson's in the game. And then, of course, you're going with the high-energy Trenton Hassel, and the scoring of Sprewell, Cassell, and Garnett.
Here we go. Garnett on Miller. Bounces off of it, fades back, and knocks it down.
The first basket in a timeout period or in an overtime period is so important, and that's a nice luxury that Minnesota has to go up by 2 here right away in the overtime.
Set the tone early.
That's right.
Sacramento at times scoring at will. Bibby almost loses it. Divac, head full of steam on his way to the hoop and held off by Mark Matson. Career 69% free throw shooter, and those numbers, I thought I could jinx. Those numbers have actually been lowered the last couple of years.
It's when you talk about the guy who never misses,
right,
that's when they miss.
I know. And as we told you, Vlade very good at the line.
Too late, Tom.
Sorry. Tied again at 112. Says a lot to look out there right now and see Trenton Hassel.
Certainly does.
Flipsiders a growing confidence in that young player. Cross court, Sprewell thinks about the 3, moves inside instead. Mad Dog with the rebound. Matson kicks it back to Cassell. Sam, baseline, floater, no. Rebound, put up, won't go. Trenton Hassel again. And this time, they were ready for Bobby Jackson, but Bobby finds a way to come away with the ball anyway, and Sam Cassell is limping. Went into the crowd. Sprewell had done a good not occur when he went into the crowd. He actually tripped on Bobby Jackson's heel. There's Bobby, there's Sam, and
right there. It's like
right there.
Yeah. Looks like it happened a couple times, but he just was. You see him limping off the floor. He's going to come back in, though. He's going to come back in. He's a tough guy.
Fourth quarter warrior, and the same would be true in overtime. Sam will tough it out. It has been a remarkable night for him. 26 points, 14 assists, 12 of 20 from the field. Sam with a smile on his face, actually probably a grimace right now. Garnett left alone, top of the key, won't go. The Kings have a chance to build on that lead. Divac finds Brad Miller. Miller loves to shoot from 15. Bobby Jackson will take it. Bobby thought he was fouled. Sam Cassell, less than 100% right now. Sprewell, nice move. Finds Cassell, left alone. Bobby Jackson in his face, and Sam flies into the Kings bench. Mark Madsen nearly with the steal. Here's Bibby now, reverses it. And a tough sequence of events for the Timberwolves. They're so close defensively. No question, the effort has been there tonight. Sam Cassell, limping, fearless. Half dunk by Mark Madsen. Mark Madsen and Trenton Hassel have been hanging around the rim all night, and it has paid huge dividends for the Timberwolves. Divac trying to back in on Mad Dog. Kicks it out to Peja for three. Lines it up and connects. Peja Stojakovic. And the Kings lead is ballooned to 5. Flipsider says enough. We'll take the timeout. Stojakovic coming off back-to-back All-Star seasons. Also a repeat three-point shootout winner, and he showed his range again here, Jim.
Well, you're going to see Sprewell right here end up coming back down and double-teaming on Vlade Divac. You cannot leave Peja Stojakovic that wide open. Trenton Hassel either has to go over and help Sprewell out and let Sprewell come back this way to Bobby Jackson, but you cannot leave Peja Stojakovic to double team Vlade Divac. That double team's got to come from somebody else other than Latrell Sprewell.
And the news does not get any better with word that Sam Cassell is headed to the Wolves locker room. Sam injured the foot, trying to catch up to Bobby Jackson. We'll take a look at it right now. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves have their hands full. Madsen moving inside. One-handed floater, no. Easy in the Western Conference when you're dealing with Shaquille O'Neal and Kevin Garnett and others. And we found that out firsthand here tonight. But an outstanding effort from him. Rick Adelman has to be very pleased with what he saw tonight. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. But now on the bench, inside to Garnett, finds Madsen all alone, and Mark, patient, and then slams it home. Madsen lost the handle momentarily, had to bounce to re-grip it, but let Mike Bibby's defense slip by, didn't matter. Big bucket. Closing in on 90 seconds left in OT. Divac finds Peja there, and Peja floats it in. For an update on Sam Cassell, here's Marnie Gellner.
Tom, Sam has a jammed toe on his left foot. That's the only information we're getting right now, is just a jammed toe, and he has yet to come back out onto the Timberwolves bench.
Well, Sam gave it everything he could after injuring that toe. Meanwhile, Kevin Garnett clapping his hands, yelling to his teammates, come on, come on.
Well, the Timberwolves are being dazzled by the Kings on a series of curls and down screens and back cuts, and Vlade Divac is the man who's dealing out all of the punishment from the low block, and then Peja Stojakovic is hammering it home. He has been tremendous here in the second half.
Peja, in fact, 24 points, Jim, in the second half.
And, you know, Marnie had a chance to talk with assistant coach Sidney Lowe and said just that very thing, that he expected Peja to come out and really start firing here in the second half. He only had 8 in the first half, and he has done exactly that.
Garnett is perfect from the line tonight, hitting all 6 attempts. Wolves need a stop. Their defense has improved. They'd love to see it here. Madsen knocks the ball away.
You know, also look for cutters.
Lottie,
look at that.
Leans it in. Turns around with those long arms, puts it up and in off the glass. Huge hoop.
Still think he's not the 3rd best center in the league, Tom?
Why do I ever fight with you? Why would I ever battle with you, Pete? Madsen, a leaner of his own from outside.
Mad Dog's been huge here.
Still a 3-point game.
A lot of time left, too.
Sacramento has scored on 6 of 7 possessions here in overtime.
Need a stop.
Divac again. Vlade works the clock. Inside, gets around, bounced around. Garnett with the ball. Kevin comes away with it. 3-point game. KG working his way inside. Spinning, has it knocked away. Won't stop. Kicks it to the corner for Sprewell, and he's fouled.
Is that going to be 3 free throws for
Side of the stripe.
Oh, clearly behind the stripe, and the foul by Bobby Jackson. KG doing a good job of drawing the defense. Spree knocks down the first of 3. And KG also had Fred Hoiberg on top as well, but he went to the clutch shooting with Latrell Sprewell. Good decision by Kevin Garnett.
2 more attempts for Spree, who could tie it up. Target center goes silent. Rattles on.
And now you got a foul. 14.2 to go here. Make or miss. You got a foul right away. Deny Mike Bibby and Stojakovic and Bobby Jackson the ball. Let someone other than those 3 guys catch the basketball.
Sprewell misses. Garnett with the tap. Matson with the tap. KG throws it up. Won't go.
Man, we had so much time.
Oh, so close. So close for the Wolves. KG had a good look. Let's look at it again. Kevin is frustrated.
You had an opportunity to bring the basketball down. Kevin, I know, wanted to score it, but he could have taken his time on that, that's for sure.
9.4 seconds to go.
It's a great effort by Minnesota. They have brought a supreme effort here in the second half. It's been a great basketball game. It's one of those games that it's too bad that either team, one of these 2 teams has to lose, Tom, because both deserve to win this game.
Absolutely agreed. Peja fouled immediately. Chance opportunities. Peja, dead solid, perfect.
There's Trenton. Scottie Pippen making his debut back with the Chicago Bulls sealed his fate along with former Timberwolf Kendall Gill.
Peja Stojakovic hits both free throws, and Sacramento's lead balloons to 4 points now. First overtime game of the season, and it's been everything that we had hoped for, with the exception of a strong overtime effort from Sacramento.
Yep. And Bobby Jackson, he has been very good, but it's that man right there, number 16, Peja Stojakovic, along with the crafty veteran, Vlade Divac. He's got so many tricks in his bag. Boy, is he fun to watch. I think these 2 teams, and when you look at the Western Conference, the Kings, the Mavericks, the Lakers, and the Spurs are the 4 teams that have advanced in the playoffs the last 3 years, Tom. Those 4 teams right there. And I think the Wolves are going to be in that category. And I think both these teams are going to play a fun style of basketball to watch. Wolves are going to be very exciting in the near future.
Sorry, Jim. Fred Hoiberg will inbound. KG takes the 3. No. He'll get it right back. Throw it right back up again. Short. Matson with the rebound. And time will run out on the Timberwolves. The effort was there from start to finish. So much improvement from the loss in Utah, but this one will go down as a loss as well, as Peja Stojakovic is our Dodge player of the game. 5 3-point shots. He finished with 34 points, in Sacramento with the win. 125-121 in overtime. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.